What's going on, everybody out there? Your Dark Avenger Chris here. With me is my brother Mike.
Hey guys.
And this is our 400th Dark Avenger Comic Book Review episode. I've made Mike keep them all. We went from 390 to 391 to 392 to 393, Mickey Mouse, to 394, 395, 396, 397, 398, 399, and here we are now. There are no episodes after. We are now at... Woo! We're now here at 400 now. I gotta apologize in advance. I'm really not feeling too good tonight. I don't know if I've got a cold coming on. I think it actually is a cold coming on.
At 400?
But, you know, I think it's a
I know.
If you think about it, every 100th episode after 100, 100 I wasn't sick. But if you remember, for 200, I think I was sick.
For the
yeah, 300 I wasn't sick.
Right.
100 I was sick. I wasn't sick. 200 I was sick when we did it.
Oh,
300. 300 I wasn't sick, and now here we are at 400, and I'm sick.
For 500, and then
at least I won't be sick. I don't know. I don't know if it's a mixture of just the whole weekend. I fell asleep wrong. I don't want to go into details, but I think I accidentally got myself sick. So I apologize if my voice doesn't sound right. I'm all stuffed up. I actually do have some soup with me. I made some cup of noodle soup. I took some vitamins before the show because I know somebody's going to say take vitamins. I took some vitamins before the show. I took a Tylenol because I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. Hey, guys, congratulations on getting to 400 comic reviews. You've done a good job this weekend / Monday making good videos. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that a lot.
Simple Films production.
Yep. And that I think helped contribute to me not feeling too good. Was I wasn't feeling good, and then I pushed myself to do all those videos on my channel. As this video is being recorded live, all the videos except for the Dark Avenger podcast, which I did already record, thank God. This will be going up sometime late or early in the morning tomorrow on my channel, which is Dark Avenger C86. Following that will be the Dark Avenger podcast, which is the epilogue for 400. And then from episode 401 on, for those of you that didn't see the announcement, the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, this series is moving back to Dark Avenger C86, my personal channel. And we're changing the format up from a review to more of a discussion of the books we've read for the previous week. Same thing, we're still going to be talking about the books from that week, except we're not going to be going as in-depth as we normally do when it comes to the comic reviews. So it's more of a relaxed conversation. It will be a live show, so hopefully you guys will pop on the show still. Come talk comic books with us, whatever you've read, that we've read. You know, it's just a lot. It's basically the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review light. And I'm keeping the name, I'm keeping the numbering, so we're just going to keep moving forward to 401. And I still have faith. I mean, originally I was going to end the comic review at 400. It's an even number, like Michael said. It's, you know, it was a lot of work. It still is a lot of work. This was a lot of work. But we're going to try to lighten the load, like I said on the announcement, and see if that'll help out with the series to keep it going. And if not, like I told you guys, if it doesn't work out, that's when we start to say, okay, then it's time to hang them up. But the goal is, as always, to get to the next 100. So we're here at 400. The goal is to make it to 500 and then see where our minds are.
And I
2 years from now.
It will be your 10 years being on YouTube.
Yes, it will be my 10 years being on YouTube at that point. Because
so
right now we're at
400. I did my 10 years in Dark 18, and 2 years you'll do your 10 years. So a lot to look forward to in the next 2 years if we should make it to that 500. But until then, 400.
Yep,
the books that we will review were released on July 5th, 2017, the first week of July, and we have 20 books, even 10 physicals and 10 digitals.
Isn't that insane? That for the 400, 10 physical, 10 digital. I'm going to throw out there some books that I won't be reviewing, but they looked really good. I haven't had a chance to finish them. One of them being Ash versus the Army of Darkness, issue 1. The artwork was a bit sketchy, so I didn't get a chance to read that.
Okay.
Skyborn. I found out I missed it like literally maybe a half hour before we were ready to do the show, so I decided to just skip it for the review. But Skyborn's another really great series. I believe it's ending with the next issue. Baby Teeth I have to catch up on still. I know issue 2 came out this week. I have to read issue 1 again, but I'll be honest, I did skim through issue 2, and it still does not look like a book that I would want to really truly sink my teeth into. And I tried to get into Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe again.
I didn't want to read that because I'm reading too many Deadpool.
I couldn't. I tried. I truly.
There's too many Deadpool titles.
I truly and honestly did try, and I just did not. I didn't feel it. I truly didn't feel it, and I guess that's why I just kind of. So anyway, wait. I want to make sure we're celebrating.
I didn't
celebrate. This is a celebration.
I'm like, okay, I guess that's my cue. I didn't know.
No, this is a celebration. So as I was saying, for 401 on, if you are enjoying these reviews, whether they be live or post live, because I know we get a lot of comments post live, please, if you haven't subscribed over on my channel, which is Dark Avenger C86, go over there, click that sub button. This way you continue to get this show and also the haul videos. I haven't been doing that many of them lately. I really haven't, which I should actually do some. But because I'd rather keep it as a sporadic whenever I have the chance to do kind of a video, I decided to move that to back to my channel as well. But I got to tell you guys, on this channel right here, Comic Frontline, you've got Mike Spider Slayer's haul. He does it every Wednesday or Thursday, and it is an excellent. I'm addicted to watching it, honestly. I'm addicted to watching. I saw the comment. I will answer your comment in a second. Slime. I watch Mike Spider Slayer's haul every week, and I love it. It's an enjoyment. It's a lot of fun. He gets a lot of really great books. So you still have a haul video right here on Comic Frontline. And then Kat actually has her Comic Uno show on here where she talks about all the books that she's read. So basically, even though the comic review for the Dark Avenger Comic Book review and the Dark Avenger haul are going back to my channel, you guys still have an excellent haul video and a really great, excellent comic book review show as well. So, all right, what's the appeal of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe? I have no clue. I don't want to see my favorite heroes murdered. I agree. What's up, number 400? What's up, Justin? Great to have you on here as well. I apologize if I look like crap. I truly feel like I'm getting a cold. I've been feeling it since this morning. I honestly started feeling it a little bit last night, so I don't know if it's a mixture of how I slept and all the work I've been doing over on my channel. Hopefully, if you guys didn't check out my channel, I did 5 videos. I did 5 videos on Saturday. I did 5 videos on Sunday, and I'm concluding with 6 videos today because the podcast and this review count as extra videos. So maybe 7 videos today. I'm not too sure. But anyway, this is a celebration. I'm really happy we got to 400, and it's thanks to all of you. I got to say this again. It's all because of you guys, everybody in the comments here, everybody who has commented post live, everyone who supported us. And now also I want to say this first. Thank you to everybody on Comic Frontline. Busy, man. Yeah, it's been busy. Too busy. I think I've worked myself too hard. I want to thank everybody on Comic Frontline. Originally, back when we were doing this, back at 350. What's up, Rob Wise Guy? At 350, I decided to kind of let my channel kind of float off for a bit. This is back when I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my channel, and I was going to make my channel a vlogging channel. I decided to move all the comic stuff here. Thank you. Thank you for the congrats on 400. JLS Comics, what's going on, Jesse? Thank you for showing up. So at 3:45, I asked everybody on Frontline if they'd be cool if I moved my haul and my comic review and my live show, Dark Avenger Live on Fridays, over to this channel, and they were more than open to having me move the shows over here, and they were more than supportive of the show and of whatever decision I wanted to do after 400, whether I was going to drop the show or keep the show going or what I wanted to do with the show.
So wait, so your live show staying?
Yes, I'm going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So I want to thank everybody on Comic Frontline for allowing us to host this show for the past year, because technically we started here, I think it was 350. Yeah. So it's been almost a year. Oh, 2 more weeks. Isn't that insane? In 2 more weeks, we would have been here. The Dark Avenger Comic Book Review Show would have been here an entire year. And I want to thank everybody on Frontline for supporting this show all the way for the past 50 episodes, for almost a year being here on Comic Frontline. I want to thank everybody who's actually viewed the show and enjoyed the show. And like I said, I hope you guys come over to my channel. We're just changing the format up a little bit to make it easier on us and more interactive for you guys, so you can come on and discuss the books with us instead of us reviewing the books and you guys kind of putting in a couple of comments here that we want to actually discuss our books. We want you guys to read them yourselves, and then at the same time we want to have a discussion. So we're going to try that format, see if it works out. If it doesn't, then we'll see if we might be seeing the review go off into the sunset. But we're not willing to say it is or isn't yet. We're going to test it out. We're going to try it out on my channel and see if it works out. But I got to thank everybody on Frontline for allowing us the privilege to have. It's been a privilege to have this show on Comic Frontline for almost a year. Now, the haul video, like I said, is moving over back to my channel as well. And it's going to be whenever I get the chance to do it. I'm going to try to do it every week. Don't get me wrong. I am going to try to do a weekly haul video, at least for the comic books. If I can, if I miss a week, oh well, because it's on my channel. I don't feel like, you know, bad. I won't feel as bad as like over here whenever I miss doing a haul video. But Dark Avenger Live, I feel, is a true cornerstone here on Frontline. We have tomorrow's show, which is Frontline Live. We have Media Madness, which you guys are getting a treat. You had a Media Madness right before this show. And you got Dark Avenger Live to round out the week. You start the week off with Frontline Live. You get a nice treat in the middle of the week with Media Madness, awesome show, and then you end with Michael and I on Friday talking comics and everything else. So Dark Avenger Live is remaining right here on Comic Frontline. That is definitely a staple. I think it's a staple show. Moving it over Frontline would be ludicrous. That's definitely something that's unique with Frontline, and I want to keep it that way. So Dark Avenger Live every Friday at 9:05 p.m. or 9:35.
You say 9:35.
9:35. I'm sorry. 9:05 is when we try to get Frontline. 9:35. We've been on vacation for 3 weeks. 9:35 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. We always go live, and we always go at least an hour. We've had guests on. Hopefully, we'll have more guests on coming up in the future. Never know. But Dark Avenger Live is here to stay, and so is the Chris and Brand Show for when me and Brand get together, and so is It's a Podcast and Hit Points. Like I said, only the two main shows, the shows that really are a staple for my channel, are going back to my channel. Now, back into the comments really quick. I'm fairly new, but congrats on getting to 400. Slime, I appreciate it. I hope you follow over to my channel and you continue to watch with 401 on, and hopefully everybody will enjoy the new format. Oh my God, I remember that. Does that mean you haven't been a bug, man? Dude, Jesse, you've been a pleasure to have in all, and I'm not going to talk for everybody, but I'm sure everyone is going to agree with me anyway. You've been a pleasure to have on any live show, on any video, comments, etc. SM Down 9. What's up, man? Finally watched Iron Fist on Friday to Saturday. It was good. Told you. It was a great show. It was a great Netflix. I'm going to take a little bit of this because I'm about to start coughing. And then,
do I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Say something. That would be great. Give me a second.
Yeah. So 400 comic reviews. I mean,
I apologize, guys. I'm not feeling good. That's the only reason why I'm eating soup. And it is technically 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, this is like 300 comic reviews for my perspective, saying, and from going from a camera person to just doing comic books, that's like a really huge step up for where I started off, and then to be here for 300 comic reviews and hopefully more after this. It's been really awesome. You know, we've had my trusty iPod Touch, which I had to go through once because the screen cracked one time, but luckily it's good and everything. But yeah, I mean, we've tried many new things during 300 to 400. Some worked out a little and some didn't, but you know, ideas come and go and everything. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos that he did with so many stuff that was uploaded. And yeah, so here's to 400, going on to 500. And
hi, Shamar. He's Mike and Chris.
Oh, hey, Shamar.
I was just waiting now. I watch, which I want like another month till when Defenders. Yeah, that's true. Defenders is coming out soon, so that is actually a good idea to wait till after Defenders. Yeah. But every show almost has been confirmed except for Iron Fist to be renewed.
But yeah, so just to celebrate this, it's awesome.
All right.
So let's go to my trusty iPod Touch, and
these are the books for 400. So these books stand out in the realm of the Dark Avenger comic book review.
And
now, let's say the title first, and then we're going to talk. Like Father, Like Daughter, issue number 4. Now, and you can show the title. Yeah, I want you to show it.
I didn't know if you.
Now, I know a lot of you out there, you know, and I agree with Mike Spider-Slayer. It's always hard to review a book that's by a friend because you never want to say anything bad if you find anything bad. And I'm going to put this out there now because I know a few people are going to say this at some point. Oh, Chris, you're best friends with Kat, so you're gonna love the book regardless whether you do or you don't. You can say and believe whatever you want. What I'm about to say is my true and honest opinion about the book. And my true and honest opinion about this book is I loved it. This is my favorite issue in the series thus far. I've read issues 1 through 3 plus. Please don't spoil. Okay, I won't spoil too much, SM Down. I'll give the abbreviated version for you, man. But if you want to be safe, you can mute the video, and then when Mike puts up the next book, you can unmute it. But also, I don't want to spoil it because a lot of people I know are waiting for the Kickstarter. Excuse me, for the Kickstarter reward. Michael and I both backed Cat's last Kickstarter for issue 4, so I'll try to actually be very vague with my review. But this has been my favorite. Like I said, I've read issue 1 through 3. I've read 1.5, and I've read 3.5, and it's been an enjoyment. This is my favorite book in the series so far. As you guys know, I'm not going to redo the whole Like Father, Like Daughter series. If you'd like to see my full in-depth review of the book, go over to my channel. I actually made an entire video dedicated to doing a solo review of Like Father, Like Daughter. This is issue 3. Michael has the picture of issue 4. It was a really good book. The ending, there were some deep feels at the end of Like Father, Like Daughter, issue number 4, and I loved it, and that's why the book stands out to me. I really like it. With issue 3, though, the beginning with the bullying, that stood out for me too, but the ending for issue 4 was really good. You get a good mystery set up. Something's going on behind the scenes that Invulnerable and Casey have no idea about. I love that. Thank you, Tevye, and welcome to the show. Happy 400. I really like the book. My only complaint is at times the artwork to me just doesn't. The artist does really good at giving us how the characters are feeling. He's good at letting us know what the characters feel like. But there are times where it just feels a bit sketchy, or like the eyes will be drawn a bit too big. I feel like it's like an anime-esque kind of thing. Nothing bad. And again, it's something that as time moves forward, I'm sure the art will evolve with the book. But other than that, I still really love this book. And the art does not take me away from the book at all. Because like I said, right, I've been reading the book right along, so I'm used to the art. But that's my only minor, if at all, complaint, is that the art at times could be a wee bit sketchy. But still, it's a great book, and I would definitely recommend it. Iron Fist comes on DVD, so I'll probably buy it. Iron Fist hasn't yet. I have Daredevil, and I believe Jessica Jones has been on DVD. I'm trying. So I'm traveling to work now. I'll come. All right, Jordan, take care, man. I agree. The artwork is okay. Tabby agrees about the artwork. All right.
All right.
But definitely, if you have not backed it, first of all, if you didn't back the Kickstarter, that's cool. You can still get the book. There is a way to get the book on Comixology and all over. But I know that Like Father, Like Daughter will be hitting issue 5 on Kickstarter soon. Back that project up. So this way you'll get issue 5. And get the other 4 issues. Find a way to get the other 4 issues. It's a blast to read. I'm really, truly enjoying it. Say I'm saying it because she's my friend or not. Truly, you're the one that's missing out if you think that, because I'm enjoying the series. And I know everybody in the comments who's read Like Father, Like Daughter says the same. Everybody who's read the book says the same. So, Predator Hunters, issue number 3. So they finally get to the island where the Predators are. And there's one character, and I hope he dies. He makes fun of the main Indian character all the time, kind of making fun of Indians and whatnot. And I truly and honestly hope that one of the Predators killed them. But anyway, they, after spending some time with a friend on the other island, sneak onto the island with the Predator. They send in some drones earlier to check, and it confirms that there are Predators there. So they make it to the island. They find the one Predator. They fight it. They destroy it. They find the guy that's been imprisoned, save him, and they're like, it's okay, we got it. And he's like, there's 3 more. There were 4 altogether. And that's where the book kind of leaves off. So it's like now they're on the island with 3 other Predators, and that Predator was a primitive Predator. What's going to happen next? The artwork in this book, though, I feel like the artwork has changed. I really couldn't get, I don't know why, but it took me a little bit to get into the book because the artwork was, I don't know, very, very sketchy. I know that's a word I use often, but when I say sketchy, I mean it's just not something. I wish I had pages to show you guys. It kind of took me a little bit out, but then I got back into it. Back to Kickstarter, everyone. We got to support our friends and community. That's what Jesse says. I agree. what was the best Marvel Netflix show for you? SM Down, we're doing a comic review, my friend. Definitely save that question and bring it to Dark Avenger Live this Friday, and we'll definitely talk. There's also tomorrow night on Frontline Live. Oh my God, it's the Predator sequel I wanted. Where's my Predator? You know, this would make a nice Predator sequel. I would say that.
Yeah,
I would. All right, so you're next, right?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. I'm going to go get a tissue because I'm...
All right. So, starting off with my book, we're going to start off with The Ring of Fire of Dark Savage issue number 4. Now, lately, I've said that I haven't been liking the book. Well, I have to admit, this book actually made a big comeback because this issue was not that bad, really. This is where Dark Savage is kidnapped by Emperor Asado. Emperor Asado wants to take over the land and all of America that could kill millions of people. Dark Savage is not really, liking that because he wants peace. And one of the people who he thought would never betray him actually was on the Emperor's side, but then he wound up getting shot. There's a spoiler. We also have Earhart, who actually appears in this book, who, flies the airplane and everything. And she, what?
You know, I forgot something. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. And she actually was going to help out with this mission because
this is why it sucks when I'm sick, because now I'm a little annoyed. If this was a video, we would have just cut. I will say that.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you're using the shirt like you wore.
Why are you gonna wait? You spoil it.
I didn't say from where.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Anyway, beside that, so now you made me forget. So he breaks free after they freed him, from the whole thing, and he's got muscle, let me tell you. So the mission was, how are they gonna destroy Emperor Asado that fleed the whole thing? So Earhart made the sacrifice of saying, I have to do this. I know that this is gonna be something. From 100, like I use this for. Well, that's a 1.
For those of you that don't know, from the very first video on YouTube, the very first Dark Avenger Comic Book review, I wore this Green Lantern shirt.
Right. And then 100,
and then for 100, I wore this. 200, I wore this. 300, I wore this. I can't believe I almost literally forgot to wear it for 400, but God, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a trend until if we make it to 500, and then after that, we're gonna change the trend up a little bit. But this is what happens when you're not feeling too well. But oh well.
Basically, the whole point is Earhart made the sacrifice, and it says it's the end of Ring of Fire, but not for Dark Savage.
To quote Johnny Cash, "Burn, burn, Ring of Fire, all memories."
Yeah. So I guess we'll get a new volume of Dark Savage whenever that comes out. But it was an amazing comeback it made, I will say that. This is a new book that I'm actually surprised you didn't read a little bit about.
I did.
Green Hornet 66
meets...
Oh, you did? Good. The Spirits, issue number 1.
Now, I like the artwork in the book. I haven't finished it, but it's okay if you spoil it because I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
I love the artwork in the book. I like the crossover. And just to point out, it is Green Hornet 66. It's not the Green Hornet.
I said that.
Okay, I'm just pointing out that the Green Hornet in this book
with Kato.
Right, it's from the 66 line. Right. It's not Green Hornet like the one that I've been reading right along. It's not that.
Yeah, and what I liked about it is that the Spirit goes to this auctioneer or something like that. He goes up to this guy and he's asking about, we haven't seen the Spirit for such a long time, so ask the brain technology thingamajigger about the Spirit. So when he asks about the Spirit, it's actually that he's making a retirement from being the Spirit. So then when we get to some action of Green Hornet, now I never read Green Hornet, but I'm going to ask you. Green Hornet is more of like killing people and like
Green Hornet,
like hiding bodies or
something? The Green Hornet is a superhero, but he pretends to be a gang lord, like a bad.
But he doesn't believe in justice.
He does believe in justice. He pretends to be the bad guy, but in reality, he is the one that's. It's hard to explain. He pretends to be a gang lord. He pretends to be like an overlord, like the leader of all gangs. And whenever a bad gang comes in, he takes them out.
Right.
But in reality, he's just there to keep everyone. He's a superhero. He helps people.
Right. But the thing is that the Spirit...
Him and the Spirit are... Yeah, am I right? The Shadow. Him and the Shadow are my two favorite pulp superheroes.
Right. But when the Spirit comes in, he doesn't really believe in murdering anyone, and he doesn't like that the Green Hornet did that.
He does. The Green Hornet does kill.
I know. I was saying that. So when he comes in, I forgot who it was that was going to be the whole... Like, of course, they were going to fight each other. He fights with Kato, and he was about to fight Green Hornet, but somebody who was going to come in who actually exposed that it's not really the Spirit, but it actually is the Spirit.
So I'm confused. Is the Green Hornet a good guy or a bad guy? An anti-hero? He's a good guy, but he plays a bad guy. He pretends to be a bad guy. Remember, in the pulp world, superheroes can kill.
Alan.
Well, Alan, if you were here at the beginning, you'd hear that I'm not feeling too good. I might have a cold coming on. But yes, with my cheesy noodles, and thank you for being here for 400, man.
But I really enjoyed this comic book about the Green Hornet 66 meeting up with the Spirit. Now they're going to be teaming up for the next... I mean, you know, the Versus always team up.
He's a good guy in the bad guy trenches. Exactly.
There you go. So, really good. This one I wasn't too keen on. And it's actually a one-shot because it said the end at the end of this issue. Bloodshots Day Off issue #1. Now,
it looks like a one.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to try it because #1, it's Bloodshot. And
#2, Jason David Frank.
Jason David Frank. Wait, oh, yeah, that's going to be playing Bloodshot. Yeah, but beside that part, I just wanted to take a look at this and see what it was. And to be honest, it was kind of a little confusing. It's about these two guys, and they keep going back from 1942. Like, one guy... I think it was an African-American. He was talking about serving the Vietnam War, and his father supported that he should be drafted into the army to serve the country and everything. Whereas this other guy, I don't remember what he was. He actually had a family, and he was like more connected to his wife. And when it fast forwards in time, his wife is dead when he goes to the cemetery. And the other guy who served Vietnam, when he came back, his father was on the deathbed. And since he really didn't admire his father then, but he actually knew what his purpose was to serve in Vietnam, when he goes back, he actually died. So they didn't really have that much of a good day. But it kept going just back and forth a little bit. I mean, yes, the story was a little bit good, but if they didn't do too much of flashbacks and back and forth, I would have said it was a good book. But to me, for a one-shot book, I guess that's a good one-shot, but for me, it kind of was on my least interest. But who knows? I mean, I may have to look it over again, but I remember that much.
Wasn't one of the Bloodshot part of the Soviet Union? That book sounds depressing.
Yeah.
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, yeah, it does, kind of. But that's what I read. This was actually awesome. Grimm Tales of Terror, Volume 3, #7. Now, this cover, we all know the saying where you sell your soul to the devil. Well, in this issue, the guy, not only the devil wants your soul, he wants something more. Now, this guy fell in love with this woman, and then he said, okay, I want this girl to fall in love with me. So then Lucifer comes in saying, I'll tell you what, I'll let her like talk to you and notice you if you don't give me not your soul, but someone who you don't like, which is his father. So he first gave up his father's soul for the girl to talk to him. Then as things got a little bit all over the place, where they kind of were going to be breaking up a little bit, he had to give another soul, which was his brother's soul. And no, his nephew. I'm sorry. His nephew's soul was the next one. And then when things got even more and more and more stuff, well, in order for her to stay alive, because she was on a deathbed after that car accident, he sold his soul. Very, very bad mistake to do when it comes to the devil. And you know what happened to him in the end? Yes, the girl survived, and the girl left him. He dies from a phobia of snakes. Whoa. That was like, oh my God. I mean, I love the horror stories they give in Grimm Tales of Terror. I mean, everyone knows not to sell your soul to the devil, but stupid as he said, oh, I'm not gonna do that because I've seen your movies and he did it in the end. And I knew he was gonna do that. I knew he was gonna do that.
Alan says he'd sell his soul for some of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I pulled.
That's you, bud. Okay. So we have one physical indie book, and that is The Walking Dead issue number 169, and it's called Lines We Cross. Which actually there's a lot of not turns, like there's a lot of interesting stuff I saw in this book. Like, first of all, it talks about Carl, how he called Andrea like his mother during the Negan Wars and everything, and how he was like really close to her. Meanwhile, Rick's talking about, you know, Negan, about just letting him go and not leaving him in the prison or killing him. So he decides just to let him just go off out of the community. Meanwhile, he found out that Eugene was talking with Stephanie over the radio, and then he talks to her like saying, you know, we're a community and everything. So if we find your place and you can give us information, we'll come to you. Here's some artwork, by the way, which I wanted to show you. So there's that happens, and I don't know what's going on with which we'll call Dwight, or I think that's Dwight, right? I think that's his name. Oh, you hate snakes, Tevya? I used to, in high school, I used to work in an animal lab, and the first thing I always used to do when I went into the animal lab was you were able to take care of the whatever animals you wanted. I usually go in there, and nobody liked the snake really, so I would take out the snake. His name was Bandito, and I used to wear him around my neck the whole time I was there. It was a beautiful snake. It was not a boa. It was a black and white striped snake. I forgot what type it was. It was like a garden snake. The most harmless thing you could ever imagine. I love that snake, and the only reason why I don't own a snake is because of what they have to eat. Mice. Right. And you have to buy them. Right. No, thank you. No. So that's why I don't own a snake. Yeah. Other than that, I would, if not for the mice thing, I would have definitely already owned a snake. Okay, then. And I got bit by a snake, that snake also, because somebody was stupid in the animal lab and tried to tease it. So to protect them, I pulled the snake away, and he came back and bit me. Yeah. And his name is Dwight, by the way. So he's acting a little meh with Rick and everything. Meanwhile, Carl is going to the hilltop, and then when Rick and Dwight have a talk with each other, he's just like saying, you know, you're trying to lead all this community together where, you know, everything is just great, but it isn't really, you know. And then he's like saying that, you know, about Sherry, like saying that, you know, like she attacked me because he feels that he killed her, where it was just by accident, as reading issues back and everything. So I like the whole father and son thing together that happened when he told him he's going to the hilltop. So Negan leaves, but it looks like that someone wants Dante. I think Maggie, was it? I think her name is Maggie. Wants Dante to catch up to Negan, and they don't want to lose track of him because they still think that he hasn't changed. So Negan left. Yeah, Negan left the community. Carl went to the hilltop. Right. Because of Andrea's death. Oh, okay. That was the other way around. Right. You put over there. Right. So there's a lot of stuff that happened in that book, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the issue. So now we're going into the big two. Digital's first is your book. This book gave me such feels. Injustice 2, issue number 6 or 5. 5? I thought it was 6 already. I thought it looked like a 6, but it was a 5. It's a 6. Is it? Give me a second, everybody. I'm gonna confirm. I'm pretty sure I saw a 5. It is 5. It is 5. I'm sorry. Mike's right. Michael's right. It is 5. And this book gave me a lot of feels. This one's not bad. Okay, I take back my comment because I also like Jake the Snake Roberts. So in this book, it's the fate of Ted Cord, who is still training Jaime, the other Blue Beetle, And what happens is Booster Gold shows up and warns Ted that, you know, he'll be there at the end. And Ted's like, "Oh crap, it's coming, isn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then Ted goes, "You can't interfere, can you?" And he's like, I wish I could, but I can't, because then it would change my future. Snakes and scorpions, my least liked creatures. Firestorm, first of all, welcome to 400. Second of all,
Scorpions and spiders would be mine. So what happens is Ra's al Ghul sends for Ted and uses Ted as a message to all the other superheroes in the world, and Ted dies. I don't want to give away the middle and everything because Ted tries to fight back and it doesn't work out. And then in the end, you see Booster Gold show up and give Ted that kind of like, you know, that final, you know, he was there at the end right before Ted died, and then Ted passed away. And oh man, this book had deep feels. I will say that. This book was great. I really liked this issue, especially those invisible scorpions. Oh God.
And Firestorm.
Thank you, Firestorm. Thank you for the congrats.
All right.
Justice League issue number 24. Right?
Yeah, 24. Yeah.
Then why'd you click it?
No, because it always goes out for some reason, the light. So I want to keep it on.
Tavia, think of it this way. It's the way you told me. It's a universe that doesn't exist, but it exists in the gaming world. So for me, reading Ted Kord's death, I mean, I display the book where in pre-New 52 DC where Ted was shot in the head by Checkmate. Yeah, I always see the death. I'm just glad Ted Kord is alive and well again in Rebirth. But yeah, poor Ted keeps getting killed. I don't know. But in Justice League this week, the Justice League... See, now this is why I'm really not into Justice League anymore and why I moved digital and why I don't know if I'm ever going to drop it or not. But it connects to Aquaman. And I haven't read Aquaman in a while. I have it in my queue to read, but I haven't read it. And it's attached to Mira. There's a problem in Atlantis. The Justice League show up, and it's Mira. And they end up having to fight Mira to try to stop her. And Mira's really good. She takes down the Justice League pretty hard. And she deals with magic. So even Superman is having a hard time taking it down. Go to the desert. You'll never hate anything more than scorpions after a few days. Firestorm, I have a feeling you have that experience, and no thank you. Meanwhile, later tonight, I'm going to watch Spider-Man Home. That's cool, Alan. So anyway, now where was I? So they end up talking Mira down, finally, and she goes to the fortress. She goes to the watchtower. They have a nice talk about, you know, wanting to help Arthur and about her and what, you know, they try to kind of, I don't know. Mira is kind of a little bit lost, I feel, especially when I'm Aquaman. But I'm kind of, it's a big question mark because I haven't read Aquaman, so it takes me out of the book a bit. And then what happens is there's a problem, and they ask Mira if she wants to come and help them. I'm wondering if in Justice League they're going to replace Aquaman for now with Mira. That would be interesting. She is a very strong character, and I haven't seen Mira. I don't think Mira ever joined the Justice League. At least I'm not sure if she did or didn't. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't know. That is enough. I have had it with these daggum scorpions on this mother ducking plane. I remember that line. You ever heard of camel spot? Okay, we're gonna stop talking about spiders and scorpions, and I'm gonna focus on the books.
Oh my.
So it was an okay book. Again, Justice League is not something I've recommended or I've said go out and get this issue for a very, very, very long time. I think honestly since issue number 1, it just has not appealed. Honestly, both JLA and Justice League have kind of been eh. I believe she was part of the JLA in New 52. Okay, she was part of the New 52. All right. Now I'm just throwing this out there because I did decide to read it for one reason, and it's the first story in it. Secret Empire, Brave New World, issue number 3. J. Jonah Jameson returning to the Daily Bugle. Nuff said. That was like Clark Kent returning to the Daily Planet. It was like it took his niece, I believe it was his niece or his cousin, to drag him into the Daily Bugle to report what was going on, and it was really good. I like that they're trying to fix the status quo of Spider-Man a bit by putting things back to normal, and J. Jonah Jameson looks like he's going to be right back in the Daily Bugle again, which is awesome. There were a few other stories, and of course the continuation of the Namor story, but again, do you need this? No. So am I going to tell you to go out and buy this? No. I mean, if you would like the J. Jonah Jameson story alone, just get this issue. It's a one story and done thing, and then we move into other characters, other stories, and of course, like I said, Namor is the only one that's every single issue. So if you want the Namor story arc, keep buying the book. If not, but I mean, J. Jonah Jameson is the spotlight of this book. That's a good sign for the Spider-Verse as a whole. Yes, I agree. And that's why I wanted to talk about this book, or else I probably would have just skipped Brave New World completely. But when I read this story, I was like, okay, I have something I can discuss about in this book. And yeah, so there we go. And unfortunately, the next cover actually pays homage to One More Day.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Spider-Man Deadpool issue number 19 called No More Jokes. If I can get it to focus. Why isn't it focusing?
There you
go. There we go. So it's called No More Jokes. And the reason for this called No More Jokes is because for a new story arc, Spider-Man told Deadpool that if we're going to do a mission together, we got to take things seriously. Just, you know, like no more joking around, no more of all the cracking up, breaking fourth walls and everything. Because Slapstick actually makes an appearance in this book that goes after Deadpool first, which then Spidey comes in to save him, even though he has a healing factor. But Spider-Man does all the saving, you know, because he's a hero. And he's not actually that dark, really, Spider-Man. Because remember when I said I didn't like his character about how he was? So, and, you know, and he had plans with his Aunt May, but he had to reschedule it because of what's been going on. So it was just, you know, them teaming up, and then, like, they were not really for each other, but then they had, like, a little misunderstanding about each other. But then there was an offer that was made with Slapstick by somebody who I can't remember what it was, and it was actually a trap to actually kill. I don't know if it's to kill her or just because it was, like, gas or something. To knock her out, maybe knockout gas it was. And that's what it was, to be continued. So I like the team up of how it looks now. I mean, it looks a little bit, you know, okay for this one. But I say you should pick it up. It is jump on friendly if you want to, you know, because there's nothing, because it's a new story arc, like I said. So you'll definitely be picking that up then. So that's all the visuals. So now we're all physicals for you first.
All New Wolverine issue number 20.
Glossy cover.
Glossy cover.
Mm-hmm.
22. So, surprise, surprise, Laura survives her near-death experience. She died and came back. She was out for 2 weeks, but she healed up perfect. We see the, exit of Deadpool. I like that. Oh, God, what's her name? Jeez, I hate when I forget people's names. The weapon. I'll remember her name at some point. So the little girl who's I forget her name. Now that's embarrassing though.
Is that Gabby? Daughter?
Gabby. I remember now. Gabby ends up giving Deadpool a really funny / nice gift before he leaves, and then Captain Marvel knows where the planet is that the girl came from. So of course Laura jumps out of bed and joins, as you saw on the cover, the Guardians of the Galaxy to go into space to the planet to find out why her name was mentioned. And they go, there's nice dialogue in between. They land on the planet. They want to know, you know, why this girl came, and they brought Laura because Laura wants to help heal that planet too. And then we find out that the Brood is also attacking, and we get a really awesome action scene at the end. And things look really dire for somebody, I won't spoil who, at the end of the book. I don't know. I feel like this issue was a bit weaker than, I don't know. I guess Wolverine in space. There is one thing. There was a hooded person in this book that says Laura, Wolverine has left the planet. The next main target is Dawkins. So I'm wondering if this is going to play out in the future issue of All New Wolverine, where Laura is going to have to save Dawkins.
Mm.
I like that they're bringing Dawkins back. I really do, because I feel like ever since what happened between him and Wolverine and the miniseries when Wolverine died, Dawkins has kind of gone MIA. So I like that they're bringing Dawkins back, and they're not focusing just on Jimmy. Iron Fist issue number 5, soon to be issue number 70-something in another couple of months. I really like this issue, and it wraps up the first story arc really nicely. Danny fights the last opponent. All right, I have to sleep. All right, thank you, Jesse, for coming by. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the congrats on 400. Hopefully, you'll be there when we do 401 over on my channel. I'm going to make mention of this at the end again. But anyway, so Danny goes to the council and says, you know, it was Cho Sin who did this and who is framing me for killing an innocent man just so that it makes me look like a murderer. So basically, to get off the island, he has to survive, what do you call it, the final trial, which is the wolf. And they have an awesome fight. We find a backstory that the wolf actually tried to be an Iron Fist at one time in Kunlun and failed, and he became something else, which destined him never to ever be Iron Fist again. But now he has the chance, if he beats Danny, to become the Iron Fist. And finally, Danny realizes how to tap into his chi, and that's basically when he has to defend Kunlun. And in the end, long story short, Cho Sin gets put in jail. The wolf ends up being beaten by Danny, and Danny leaves, and now he's like, you know, I need to find a way back to Kunlun. And they're like, you know what, you're the Iron Fist. Check out the book of the Iron Fist. Any Iron Fist is able to get back to Kunlun whenever he wants, because Kunlun always needs his champion. So Danny basically figures out that the way to keep his abilities, or the way to keep his chi and to be able to use the Iron Fist, is when he's defending Kunlun. So now he wants to go back. Excuse me. He wants to go back to Kunlun and be its champion again. And I guess we'll find a way for him to be in between both Kunlun and, you know, our world, because he is part of the Defenders and part of New York and Secret Empire, etc., etc. Spider-Man: The Master Plans, one shot. It's
a one shot.
Okay. It's okay, but I gotta give Marvel credit. It's only $3.99. It's not a $5 book, and it's pretty thick. So I'm gonna give Marvel credit right here and say it's $3.99. I think it really plays more on setting you guys up for the movie. It's Spider-Man stopping a bunch of crime sprees. The artwork's pretty good, I will say that. And it turns out all these crime sprees are being set up by the crime. Oh God, what's his name? Crime Master, I believe his name is. Yes, Crime Master. He finds out, Spider-Man, that Crime Master's pulling off the ultimate crime at Stark Towers. They end up fighting. He ends up putting Crime Master in jail. And then, of course, the news is claiming that Spider-Man was working with him. And yes, I was just about to say that. Slime just said it. It is half a reprint, though, right? Yes. This is why I believe this book is more to set us up for the movie. Now, I love how throughout the entire book, Pete's just hoping for, please be a cat in a tree, please be a cat in a tree, and always it's something more big than a cat in a tree. And then in the end, he does end up saving a cat in a tree, and then he's like, I had to wish for that stupid cat in the tree. But anyway, yes, the second half of the book is Spider-Man duel. What do you call it? Duel to the death with the Vulture. This is the first appearance.
He's in the Homecoming.
Right. This is the first appearance of the Vulture.
Isn't Shocker in there too?
No. So it's all reprints. It's a reprint of the Spider-Man first appearance of the Vulture book. So if anything, if you didn't like the first story, you could always chalk it up to, well, I now have a reprint of the first appearance of Vulture. And Tevya, that's exactly what I was about to say. The story really didn't grasp me to the point where I was like, oh my God, this one shot is amazing. Is it the worst book? No. Is it something to write home to mom about, though? And honestly, with this book, my takeaway is I got the reprint of the first appearance of the Vulture. I could enjoy that in my leisure, so it's okay. It's all right. What can I truly, what can I say about this book? It's not amazing, but it was okay. Boring at times, but okay. This looked like an extra issue of the Spider-Man series that ended a while back, a series I quite liked.
Oh, Spidey, I think it was called. It was called
Spidey.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I could agree with that. I would definitely say this falls into Spidey.
I really missed that.
And then the last book from Marvel, X-Men Gold, issue number 7, as the Shadow Realm. I believe it's called the Shadow Realm. Let me find out for sure first. as the Dark Force dimension covers over Manhattan. So it opens up with the mutants enjoying a day like any other day. We get a bit of a background story, a one-page background story on the person who is targeting and killing all the mutants. It's a normal, everyday, happy day, and then something bad happens. It looks like there's a romance going on with Kurt and Rachel, which is awesome. I like that. And, well, they're stuck in the Dark Force dimension. So now the X-Men are the Manhattan's protectors while they're stuck in this Dark Force dimension. But there's the Assassinator on the loose, and he's inside the mansion. So you've got one team of X-Men out there in the world, you know, dealing with the Dark Force dimension. And then, Entity Edge, man, thank you for showing up for 400, man. I really appreciate that. And then you got the other group of X-Men who are dealing with a possible killer inside of their base. And I think that the dude that was working with the Axis of Evil Mutants or Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is actually a demon from the Dark Force universe. So I think that's where he's going to connect. And then finally they find the dude, and Colossus is having a hard time turning to steel. It's kind of the reverse. There was a point in the X-Men world books where he was stuck steel. Now he's stuck human because of what happened with the nanobots in the previous story arc. And I have a feeling he's going to be steel in the next issue because he gets shot in the head by the assassin. I have a feeling he's going to be able to turn back to steel. So that was a very short-lived I can't turn into steel moment, unless his skin is now steel and he can't turn into the shiny anymore. Basically, in his human skin, he's impenetrable now instead. I don't know. That would be interesting, and I would like that, actually. That would be very interesting if Colossus doesn't have to look like steel anymore, that he could, like, blend in, and his skin is just made of steel, like, automatically. Kind of like Superman.
Yeah.
All right, we're in DC Comics now. Green Lanterns 26 is more of a backstory or a setup story in this issue. In this issue, we find out, we go back in time, and we see the relationship between Rami and Volthoom, the first Green Lantern. We find out how they became friends, how they started working together, how Rami was trying to get Volthoom back to his world, how he wanted to team up with Volthoom and basically just, you know, solve all of their, you know, all the problems that he had. And then he ends up doing the operation that puts the lantern into Volthoom to make him stronger. And that's where things kind of start going awry a little bit. And then the Guardians find out, and what happens is he thinks that Rami actually betrayed him. In the end, the Guardians just happen to find out at the same time what Volthoom was doing. And then we also see the creation of the Green Lantern rings and another one of the original 7 Green Lanterns getting their ring. The next issue we get where did Jessica and Simon go, which I'm sure will be Earth 15. But this is all a backstory on Rami and Volthoom. So if you want the backstory or the setup or what Rami and Volthoom's history is, that's the book for you. If you've been reading Green Lantern right along, you'll be reading that. I liked it. I truly enjoyed this issue. All right. Nightwing issue number 24. If this wasn't telling us and setting us up for Sean leaving Dick, I don't know what else is at this point. I mean, the writing's on the wall at this point. So Dick is trying to survive the supervillain barrage that Tiger Shark has set out in front of him. And he's trying to escape this one place while Sean has her old crime partner, Pigeon, showing up because she has nowhere to be. And she's probably going to stay with Sean, and it's going to get very interesting. You got Dick fighting for his life to get the hell out of that place and not be killed by one of these supervillains because Tiger Shark promises the winner to get a what was it? A year's worth of upgraded weapons for free. You got lots of supervillains in here, like Kid Amazo. For those of you that remember, he was from Super Sons. You got Magog. You got a lot of characters that are showing up in this book. And Dick survives them all up until he gets stuck in the facility where there's a bomb. To be continued. Really interesting stuff, I will say that. I feel bad for Dick because he's getting his butt handed to him, and at the same time, you see that his relationship with Sean is slowly going down the toilet. But at the same time, Dick and Barbara for life. Man, I got to be honest, Dick and Barbara always worked out. I was just hoping that this relationship would be good for him because to be honest, him and Batwoman, Nightwing and Batwoman, very complicated relationship.
Yep. Are you gonna fix what fell while I review my book?
No, I'll fix it later because it's being annoying anyway.
Well, I did review this for Frontline, so I'll just keep this short. This is Green Arrow number 26, Hard Traveling Hero Part 1. And yes, the cover says it all. Green Arrow teams up with the Flash, but not in the beginning, actually. Like, as we start reading the book, and when he's on his, motorcycle escape from that, he meets up with him. And let me say, the artwork actually changed back to the way it was before, probably. Because in the last issue, I was getting a little bit concerned, but this art was much better, actually. So, at first, they talk with each other, and they don't, get along with each other first. And then Flash didn't want to team up with him because of the way he was. Amiko talks with Kate Spencer, and Katie's all about the money and everything because she wants to win this case. And then she winds up teaming up with Black Canary on the mission of the Underground Men that she wants to look for. So Green Arrow goes on his mission where the Flash comes and saves him. And they go into this volcano facility where the Burned, actually, this person right here, who is taking over the whole plates, and that could affect the time continuum. So they team up together to get rid of the bomb where it was going to be detonated. And even though the guy said Washington, it's not Washington State where they are. It's in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. So now they're going to have to team up together and travel to Washington, D.C. to break the bomb before it goes off and everything. And I like actually this last page where they are actually a team. And that Green Arrow is actually on a motorcycle with the goatee and everything. So he's looking like his pre-New 52 style. So this actually, I really enjoyed this book. This was a really great book. Definitely, I can't wait to see the next book. And who knows, maybe he'll team up with somebody else. We'll find out.
All right, we're ending off with Batman and Superman. Superman being the last of the two. So let's start with Batman issue number 26, continuing the war of jokes and riddles. So Riddler and Joker start a gang war between the two of them. Riddler survives the bullet wound from Joker, and Joker finds out about it. And now Joker basically reaches out to his people and puts out a hit on Riddler. Riddler starts making friends like Poison Ivy.
Just because he was alive after the bullet?
Mm-hmm. He wanted him dead.
Okay, I don't know why he's a villain. Like the villain.
They hated each other.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So Riddler started his team. Joker made his team. Batman was kind of caught in the middle of all of this. And the weird thing was Joker was so un-Joker in this series.
And how did I know he was going to go to the Penguin at some point?
He didn't. The Penguin was working for Carmine Falcone.
Oh. And he looks good in this issue, actually, the Penguin.
So you have the Riddler's team that was being formed. Joker's team that was being formed. And Batman kind of stuck in the middle. And he's talking about all, I was supposed to be a superhero, but I know all the victims of this war. So this whole book was basically Joker trying to get his hands on or trying to kill the Riddler, and it was insane. And it was insane
it's also them forming a team, like you said, and Batman being caught in the middle of it all. Mm-hmm. That's basically the book.
I'll tell you, Joker was very un-Joker-like in this book. I say that because he was just so serious, and when you see the Joker, the one thing I think is always the ha 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 he he kind of Joker.
Well, luckily, let's hope he keeps the skin on his face and not take it off again. God, that was disturbing.
This has to be one of my favorite books this week, and it's Superman issue number 26. John becomes Superman for the day. And I like that they go back in time to when Clark was a kid, and basically his dad tells him he's going to be the head farmer for a day, but he can't use his superpowers. Clark in the present is, talking with Lois about how John never listens to him, and John kind of jumps into things. He's trying to teach John, but John is not listening and John's not learning. He wants to do his own thing. And it's kind of not working out, and he's trying to figure out how to make John, how to teach John how to be, a superhero. So he tries to do with John what his father tried to do with him. So he lets John be Superman for a day, and Superman is his backup instead of the other way around. Things don't work out. We go back in time a little bit, and we see how Clark kind of decides to take the easy way out with being a farmer, and he tries to use his superpowers, and he learns why he can't use his superpowers. He unfortunately learns the hard way. And then here in the present, though, Superman kind of learns a lesson about being a dad. He's like, you know what? I've been trying to make you be like me. You need to be you, and I need to start letting you, kind of do your own thing without basically telling you what to do. You need to know what to do on your own, and I need to be your backup. And it ended so great. The team up with Superman and Superboy was awesome. And then the ending where John and him are talking about Clark's dad, about Jonathan Kent, and how Jonathan kind of realized that he made a mistake by, letting Clark do whatever he wanted as a kid, and how Clark is still trying to learn how to be a dad, how to work being a dad to a super teen himself. It was just a really nice issue. I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely had nice feels to it, and that's the way Superman should always be. And I'm so glad that Rebirth brought that back to us with Superman in Action Comics. The next issue is going to be Vacation.
Yep.
And with that, that is it for the 400th Dark Avenger Comic Book Review episode. 400 has now come and gone. We are moving forward into 401. Now, again, for those of you that just joined us, first of all, thank you, everyone who jumped on live and wished us a happy 400. Thank all of you guys so much. Really appreciate that. And thank all of you out there that are watching this post live and leaving comments or just watching it post live. I would just like to mention, though, as always, if you're enjoying the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, hopefully you'll go over to my channel, Dark Avenger C86. Give that channel a subscribe, because starting next Monday on, the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review show will be on that channel. We will be moving this show back over to the channel where it all began, and that's kind of why I started uploading all the old videos onto my channel, so this way I'd be caught up to by the time we got to 401 to move on or to stop. So hopefully you guys will follow us over there. We will be continuing the show. It'll be a little bit different, but easier on us, and hopefully more fun for everybody. More fun all around. Yep. So thank you all so much for being here for this weekend. If you missed anything, go over to my channel. I had a lot of videos. We celebrated all weekend long, plus today. I think I apologize that I got sick towards the end. It's a trend for the even numbers. So if we do ever make it to 600, I'll have to know in advance. But thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you all so much for all your support. And I mean this for you guys watching, Comic Frontline for being a huge support of the show, all of you that watch post live, and all of you that will go over to my channel and continue to watch. Hopefully you will. I can't stress that enough. Dark Avenger C86. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Keep reading. Keep collecting. If you're watching this post live, it's your turn now. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of all the books we talked about here. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree. We want to hear from you guys. And this is still on Comic Frontline. So as always, we are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you like what you saw here, hopefully you'll click the sub button here on Comic Frontline. This way we're in your sub box. You won't miss out on a single video. Like I said, there's 3 live shows each and every week, as well as other videos, reviews, podcasts, stuff like that. Lots of stuff. So if you want to stay on top of all that, click the notification bell. And if you're watching this on my channel, hopefully you'll click the sub button as well. This way you'll continue to get your Dark Avenger comic book reviews every single week. Hopefully on Mondays. We're gonna try to keep it on a exact day basis. Yep. Take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting. See you guys really soon in the next video.
Bye, everybody.